Hi guys, Miss Simmer here with a few problems on radicals that I noticed some of you were having difficulty with. The first one is A14.21, and here are two examples. First, we're going to leave the -4 out front. We're going to break down our square root of 45. Now, as you saw in some of the other examples, you want to take out a perfect square. So the only perfect square that goes into 45 is 9. So 9 goes into 45 5 times. So we have the square root of 9 times the square root of 5. Now the 9 becomes 3 because that's the square root of 9. And we're going to multiply that by the -4. And we have our answer. The only thing we have to do to check is this last root, root 5, can it be simplified? And since a perfect square does not go into the square root of 5, not 4, not 9, not 16, obviously, then it's simplified. And that is your final answer. So let's go to another one. -8 square root of 125. Again, leave the -8 in the front. Break down the square root of 125. 25 goes into 125. That's a perfect square. Don't break it down by anything else than perfect squares. 25 goes in 5 times. So now the 25, the square root of 25 becomes a 5. Multiply that by the -8. And we get -40 square root of 5. I hope that clears up that problem. So let's move on to another. Our next problem was problem 8.1429. And the first one that I saw was negative square root of 28 over 36. Now, when you do a problem like this, the first thing you want to do is separate the numerator and denominator and make each one a root. Then, if one's a perfect square, go ahead and take that perfect square. Notice I just keep transferring the negative over. But in the numerator, the square root of 28 can be simplified. What perfect square goes into it? 4. So the square root of 4 times the square root, excuse me, I wrote 2. 4 times the square root of 7. Well, my final answer, or close to my final answer, will be 2 root 7 over 6. The reason why I said close is because we've got 2 over 6 here. That needs to be reduced. So we're going to get negative square root of 7 over 3 once these cancel to 1 and 3. And then we'll have our final answer. Now here's another one of those problems. Let's go back. The other problem is negative square root of 45 over 81. So again, split it apart, keeping that negative, square root of 45 over the square root of 81. Take that perfect square of 81, which is 9. And then we can break this down into the square root of 9 times the square root of 5, simplifying that. So we get -3 root 5 over 9. And as you can see, 3 over 9 needs to be reduced to 1 over 3. So our final answer, -root 5 over 3. I hope that was helpful. Let's just address, most of you guys did great on rationalizing your numbers, but we can address that in another video. Hope this one helped.